For 45 galactic cycles, humanity had danced on the knife's edge within the interstellar assembly of stars. An alliance of powerful species spanning the galaxy, the assembly's laws were vast, cryptic, and ruthless. It served as both a court and a battlefield, its bureaucracy crushing dissent as efficiently as its armies. Humanity, a fledgling power in comparison to the ancient races of the assembly, had no choice but to play along. Diplomats endured indignities, soldiers followed archaic customs, and their people watched helplessly as civilizations rose and fell beneath the assembly's heavy hand. Yet behind the facade of compliance, humanity quietly studied. It was this patience that saved them when the hammer finally fell. The assembly's proclamation echoed across the galaxy. Humanity, deemed an unsustainable power due to lacking aggression, was to be enslaved. A larger power coveted their territory, and the Assembly's rituals demanded that humanity submit after a dual battle, one in space and one on the ground. Humanity's representative, Ambassador Kel Morvain, stood in the Grand Chamber of the Assembly, a lone figure before the collected might of the galaxy. His words were calm, his tone almost apologetic. "Esteemed members of the Assembly," he began, bowing slightly. "Humanity recognizes its shortcomings as judged by this body. However, I would remind you of subsection 45A of the Assembly's Charter, which allows a grace period of 2 cycles for any species to prepare themselves for ritualistic combat. Surely you would not deny us this right?" The hall erupted into murmurs, but no one could challenge him. The law was clear. Humanity had bought itself 2 galactic cycles. 2 cycles passed quickly, and humanity did not waste a moment. Their shipyards burned with activity, their factories hummed day and night, and their engineers pushed boundaries. The Assembly's fleets expected humanity's standard ships, lumbering vessels built to tow massive shields while hauling swarms of missiles. But when the subjugation fleet arrived, they faced something entirely different. Humanity's fleet did not spread into cumbersome defensive lines. Their ships, sleek and angular, darted through space like blades in a duel. The Assembly's shields, reliant on absorbing missile impacts, faltered under the precise strikes of rail cannons. Flares meant to distract missiles proved useless against coordinated fighter swarms. And when the Assembly's forces tried to counterattack, humanity's point defense systems carved through their volleys with ruthless efficiency. On the ground, the ritual battle was an even greater shock. The Assembly expected slow-moving armies clashing in ceremonial formations. Instead, they faced chaos incarnate. The first wave came from the heavens. Human orbital assault troops in drop pods that struck like meteors, scattering enemy lines. Siege tanks advanced relentlessly, their mid-range cannons tearing through traditional defenses. Railgun artillery walkers, hulking machines that moved like giants, obliterated enemy strongholds from miles away. Above it all, humanity's close-in support aircraft danced through the skies, delivering precision strikes that turned the tide in moments. The Assembly's forces, bound by outdated traditions, were overwhelmed. In the aftermath of their victory, Ambassador Morvain returned to the Assembly chamber. His demeanor was as calm as ever, but his words carried the weight of humanity's triumph. "We recognize the Assembly's authority and thank this body for the opportunity to prove ourselves," he said, his voice resonating through the chamber. "However, we must address the damages incurred. By the Assembly's own laws, we demand reparations for this conflict, territorial expansion, the release of all enslaved peoples under Assembly control, and guarantees of their integration into our society." The chamber was silent. The Assembly's laws, once a tool of oppression, now worked against them. Humanity had turned their own system into a weapon. The following cycles marked the rise of a new power in the galaxy. Humanity not only expanded its territory, but also became a sanctuary for the oppressed. The enslaved were welcomed as equals, their cultures preserved and their voices heard in humanity's democratic government. Even those species humanity had once been forced to subjugate were freed, their trust slowly rebuilt. Time and again, humanity used the Assembly's labyrinthine laws to shield others from the fate they had narrowly escaped. And so, the galaxy learned a new truth. humanity was no longer the quiet, unassuming member of the assembly. They were the sword and the scale, uncompromising in battle, unyielding in justice.